Well, hello there. I'm Camille, otherwise known as Cosmic Cannibal, and this is the Cosmic Cannibal podcast, your go-to report for all things astrology, from zodiac signs and planets to transits and horoscopes. And speaking of horoscopes, I've got your horoscope for the month of February, because that's right, I'm back. And so are the horoscopes, monthly horoscopes, that is, yeah. That's right, it's been a little while since I've actually done a monthly horoscope podcast. And, it's good to be back. It's good to challenge myself creatively and intellectually. I'd be like, wait a minute, what's going on and how am I going to interpret the astrology of February 2024? Because, there's a lot going on this month. So if you've read my forecast for the week of January 29th, which you can find on my newsletter, Substack, Cosmic Almanac, then you know that February starts off pretty calm and simple, at least astrologically speaking. So apart from the short-lived and dreamy Mercury sextile Neptune transit on February 2nd, there's nothing else happening. There's nothing on February 1st, there's nothing on February 3rd, there's nothing on February 4th, kind of. It happens a little bit later. But I suggest you revel in the astrological calm, because the rest of February is as active as Vince McMahon's rap sheet. Well, okay, maybe this month isn't that active, because I might tell you that man is racking up the sex offenses. But anyway, this is not about Vince McMahon, this is about astrology. So, given the fact that there are only 29 days and 4.5 weeks in February, and 3 of those 4.5 weeks has at least one major planetary event in it, it's safe to say that February is an active month for astrology. And oh my god, did that sound like a math problem or what? Like 29 days, 4.5 weeks, 1 plus 0. Mind blown. We had a major shift on January 20th. Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth and, transformation and change, entered Aquarius the same day the sun entered the weird fixed air sign. And, this is a major shift for us as a society, as human beings, because, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was in the late 1770s, and, there was a lot of revolutions going on and all that stuff. But this transit did put a collective focus, or at least it's shifting our focus collectively on the future and what the next 20 years is going to look like. Well, the future and all its potential to evolve into and essentially look like Back to the Future Part 2, with all those flying skateboards, flying cars, and Biff profiting from gambling. All that stuff is going to intensify this month, because Mercury, the planet of communication, Venus, the planet of love and relating, and Mars, the planet of action, energy, goals, yada, 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 they all move into Aquarius. They also make a conjunction to Pluto when they do so, which is, interesting to say the least. And, side note, I just want to say that it's really hard to believe that Robert Zemeckis actually predicted the success of sports betting in Back to the Future Part 2, isn't it? Especially when you think about, the future that the film was set in is just the year 2015. And I don't think sports betting was legalized in 2015. But the way he portrayed Biff as being such a roaring success from sports gambling is kind of mind-boggling, because that's what happens now. It's like, we can bet on games. He knew what was going on with the trends. Robert Zemeckis has it. Let's go for him. He should be doing this podcast, not me. Just joking. So, anyway, sandwiched between those transits is a juicy Aquarius new moon, which is, another optimal new moon for setting future-focused goals. I wouldn't recommend anything related to Back to the Future Part 2 unless you are currently trying to design a flying skateboard or a flying car. Hey, more power to you. I won't be purchasing it because I actually like having my feet on the ground. But, after that, the sun enters Pisces, Mercury enters Pisces, the moon swells and reaches its peak in Virgo, and we are collectively encouraged to cry for sport, write sad or bad poetry, and feel a lot, because that's what happens during Pisces season. We just feel and cry and, feel and cry again and again. So that's the nitty gritty gist of February. Yeah. Okay. It's sort of like Back to the Future Part 2 meets the crying game. Just kidding. But here's the actual astrology with actual dates for your actual calendar. Speaking of calendars, I have a cosmic calendar launching in now. So more on that in a second. February 5th, Mercury enters Aquarius. It then goes to conjoin Pluto. February 9th, Aquarius new moon. February 13th, Mars enters Aquarius. It then also goes on to conjoin Pluto. February 16th, Venus enters Aquarius. Again, it conjoins Pluto. And then Mars and Venus go on to square Jupiter on February 25th and then February 27th. So Mars square Jupiter, February 25th. Venus square Jupiter, February 27th. Sun enters Pisces, February 18th. February 23rd, Mercury enters Pisces. February 24th, we have a full moon in Pisces. And then that last week of February, we don't have anything going on. So we can all take a breath because a lot of stuff is changing. A lot of planets are moving into, the same sign. Everything's going to be in Aquarius. So if you're in Aquarius, just heads up, you're going to have a great month. Also on February 11th, I'm hosting a live love and compatibility workshop. It's called Cosmic Chemistry, and it's about understanding your sun, your moon, your Venus, your Mars, your rising sign, as well as your 5th and 7th houses to help you better understand your romantic nature and needs. So this workshop, you are going to learn your best matches. You're mostly going to discover what drives, excites, and pleases you in love and relationships. And then we are going to set intentions for manifesting your ideal relationship using one of my favorite practices. And I've actually used this practice and actually seen results. And so I'm really excited to do that workshop alongside others. So if you're interested in that, you can find your e-ticket at cosmiccannibal.com. But, also, if you're a rising tier member of my astrology community, the Cosmic Collective, you get that workshop free along with my 2024 Cosmic Calendar. So you can check all that out at cosmiccannibal.com. Anyway, enough shameless plugging. All this astrology happening in February, you're probably thinking like, wow, Cosmic February really is as active as Vince McMahon's rap sheet. And you're absolutely right. And I told you so, Except the astrology is less offensive and less criminally sexist, allegedly. Anyway, here's the lowdown on these transits. So with Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto in Aquarius for the larger half of February, your thoughts and communications, your relationships and finances, along with your motivations, shift away from the dogged, pragmatic, and, solo, success-driven energy of Capricorn into the more curious, experimental, emotionally detached, and system-oriented nature of Aquarius. So you might feel more social. You might feel a little more engaged with mental things. You might want to watch Sci-Fi Network a little bit more, but you can best use this shift in energy to brainstorm plans for your future goals and your wackiest creative visions. Like, don't limit yourself, just kind of let your brain do what it wants to do in the wackiest, weirdest way, unless it's really, really bad. You want to connect with like-minded thinkers. You want to appreciate the unique qualities in your partner, in your relationship. If you're dating, you want to embrace your own unique qualities. Don't be afraid to let your freak flag fly. Infuse romance with a sprinkle of rebellion. And then embrace a surge of energy that's geared towards innovation and societal change. Your approach to your goals want to be changed now, right? This isn't just about being like, go, 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 focus, 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 sacrifice, 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 which is what Mars in Capricorn's about. Mars in Aquarius is like, how can I do this differently? How can I approach this from a unique angle? Utilize that energy and see what comes up for you. Now, when each of these planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, join forces with the transformative Pluto, they prompt deep thoughts and intense conversations. They prompt intense passions and relationship shifts, and power moves and transformative actions. How that's going to show up for you, of course, depends on your rising sign. When the sun enters Pisces, Mercury closely follows, and we're ushered into a new season of imagination and sensitivity. It's really a time to shift your focus towards the dreams and creative projects or the romantic relationships that you feel you really, really believe in, right? The projects, ideas, and pursuits that you would give anything to see come to fruition in the world. That's what Pisces season is ultimately about. But that's just the beginning. Where, how, and exactly all this astrology is affecting you this month depends entirely on your rising sign. So, without further ado, your February 2024 February horoscope.